So we're going to continue the discussion of Bruce DePalma since we better get it down. I don't want to make this like a bio series here because Bruce deserves to have his piece, but what we're going to do is try to vindicate some of his most basic discoveries in the field of rotating objects, that there is a decoupling of certain complex rotating devices from the Earth's gravitational and inertial frame of reference. Okay, so what that means is you can test that by finding out whether there's a field of force, a discrete field of force around one of these machines that interacts with any other object. And indeed, these machines were shown to interact with each other distantly, not through a magnetic effect, but through a direct coupling of mass, a field of mass, like a tractor beam, yes, possibly, but not really, more like a disturbance in the force field of space there. So a magnetic field can be viewed as a property of space, not as a property of a magnet. This is one of Bruce's main contentions. Well, in that same vein, the properties of force that we see exhibited by a massive machine like this, that's torquing space, creating torsion fields, is actually, demonstrating something about the nature of quantum reality, which is that space itself is a sensitive medium, and these forces are being produced out of space as a counterpoise to the anisotropies generated in the machine. So in other words, those forces are being produced spontaneously out of space as space's attempt to correct these very strange anisotropies. Nobody usually resonates rotating magnets on magnetic bearings to achieve nutational effects. This is not normally done. Okay, and space is kind of like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And it's shaking us off. And in doing that, it's giving us the energy we need to continue what we're trying to do, which is resonate a complex force dynamo. A force dynamo. That's what we should call it. The force dynamo. Not the force machine, but the force dynamo. And you know why? Because we're coupling magnetism with it finally. Bruce's early machines were just called force machines because they only had mass, rotating mass. But we're going to magnetize these masses. So we have to call it the force dynamo. And that is a new form of machine. I'm actually in the process of launching a Patreon, it's already online, that will allow you to participate in the development of this particular device, and there are complex drawings and explanations available to you. The point is that free energy is a reality, has been, so is anti-gravity, staring humankind in the face for at least, I don't know, since before Tesla's time. And we are now in that sort of imperative funnel of time where if we don't birth something, the funnel's going to get very tight. 9 billion, 10 billion, 12 billion people could be living on this planet in 50 years. I'm not sure how that's going to work. We're going to need a new order of science, technology from the ground up. We're going to need to be able to reforest and agroecologize areas of vast scope, greening the deserts even, precipitating water from the air using free energy machines. We need to be able to lift masses with these anti-gravity devices. We need to not let humanity suffer from climate refugee status, because if we think the refugee problem in Europe right now is an issue, wait till you see climate refugees in 25 to 30, 40 years. Hundreds of millions of them when rivers dry up in Asia. That's why we need the free energy. If we don't go for it, then people will die, period. That's, forget sending petroleum-powered or even solar-powered or wind-powered machinery out to deal with climate disruption on a widespread basis. No. I did indeed inherit from DePalma a global vision of re-engineering society. He's not here right now, except through inspiration. He exists in the form of deep, abiding inspiration, because he was somebody who went right out on a ledge and jumped. And he didn't land, okay? He just jumped out into open space, trying to invent the impossible. And he was vilified, and he was excommunicated, and he was disowned by many, including his brother, Brian DePalma. But Bruce was not deterred. He worked very hard to bring new forms of energy and understandings of physics into being. And I'm here to tell you that he was part of a broad-based dissident science community, including people like Panos Pappas and Stafan Marinov and Paramahamsa Tewari and Tom Brown and Peter Lindemann of Borderland Sciences and so on and so forth. Many, Shiuji Inomata of Japan, many others, Adam Trombly of the United States. Many of these people were all forefront thinkers and actors in the promulgation of new energy technologies, free energy technologies, and the understandings of electro-dynamics that are necessary to get beyond Lenz's law and other things. And I think we may be able to get beyond Lenz's law with the device that I'm proposing, the Force Dynamo. The Force Dynamo will have the ability to incorporate resonance, gyroscopic motion in at least 3 dimensions, and the homopolar generation effect of rotating magnets. Amazing, amazing. I think all 3 of these are going to become an amplification of free energy quotient effect together. When they work together, it's going to amplify the free energy quotient of this entire device, meaning electricity will be produced at much greater than 100% efficiency. That's the end of conservation. It's the beginning of a self-running universe. Thank you. We all know fossil fuels are dead. Time for free energy.